Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is FPL Elma, and today we're going to be going through the best fixtures for Game Week 1 to Game Week 5, and I'm going to be going through 5 teams which I think have the best fixtures, and I'm going to be going through that. So make sure you stay until the end of the video. But before we get into that, if you're new around here, make sure you like, subscribe, and make sure you hit that notification bell so that you don't miss any content that I post in the video. So, without wasting any more time, let's get straight into it. So, before we get into the video, I'm creating some leagues. We have the Classic League and the Head-to-Head League. So, make sure you go join those up. These are the codes on your screen and also the link in the description. And I'm going to be giving the top player a jersey of their choice if at the end of the season. That's the winner of the league. I'm going to be giving them a jersey of their choice. So, make sure you go join up. And yeah, so now let's get into the actual video. So the first team I think which has the best fixtures on paper. Of course, we don't know how the season is going to plan out, but I'm just going in terms of last season and also a little bit on pre-season. So we have Aston Villa, who looked very good last season. And the first 5 fixtures: West Ham, Arsenal, which is a bit tough, Leicester, Everton, and Wolves, which I think are relatively easy on paper. That's why I've gone for them. And some of the players that you can target for this amazing run of fixtures is Watkins. We all know Watkins performed really well last season. He was scoring goals for fun, and of course, he was getting a lot of assists for fun. And he managed to win the award for most assists of the season. That's why I've gone for him in there. Then we have Konza. I think at 4.5 million, I think it's a very good option. He was playing at right back and he was also playing at centre back. So I think he's a little bit nailed on for Aston Villa. That's why I've gone for him in there. And then we have Leon Bailey finishing off the Aston Villa options because I think Aston Villa seem like they have identified Leon Bailey as the right winger because they have moved on Diaby to Saudi. So I think Leon Bailey is going to be playing there. He looked very good last season as well when he was playing there. He looked better than Diaby, of course. That's why Diaby has been moved on. Leon Bailey is staying. Now that Diaby is going to have a brilliant season, actually, I love Leon Bailey. I love how he plays, and I hope he's going to have a brilliant season. That's why I've gone for him from Aston Villa. Very good run of fixtures as well. So now let's look at the next team. So the next team I've gone for is Chelsea. I think Chelsea are going to have a very good season this season. We also the way they played last season, at the end, usually towards the end, where they managed to come from around like 12th and managed to finish in the top six. But unfortunately, they go into Conference League because Manchester United won the FA Cup. Woohoo! So I think that's why Chelsea got with the Conference League. I think it's easier in the Conference League, and hence why they're going to have a brilliant season in the Premier League as well. So the team they're going to be playing Man City, of course, in Game Week 1. I don't think anyone's going to be owning any Chelsea player from that, maybe apart from Nkunku, plus 6.5 million, but I don't think he's the best option in the Chelsea camp. But he's looked really good in pre-season as well. But I've gone for Jackson in there against I've gone for Jackson in there as this attacker. Uh, he looked very good last season. He managed to get double digits. And he actually looked really good. He was going in behind, having a lot of chances. So he manages to polish up on not missing a lot of chances. I think it's going to be a very good option. Then I've gone for Palmer in there. I think he's on set pieces as well. I'm not so sure, but I think he's on set pieces. He's on penalties, of course. And last season he managed to finish second to Haaland in the runnings for the Golden Boot. That's why I've gone for him in there. Then we have Gusto in there as well. Of course, slight concern about Rhys James, but Rhys James is always injured, and when Gusto plays, he looks really, really good. And Rhys James is going to be missing the first 3 fixtures of the game because he's going to be suspended because he picked up a silly red card towards the end of last season, so he's going to be out. And I don't think he's going to get back straight into the team over Gusto. Maybe he will, maybe I'm wrong, but I think Gusto is going to be nailed on for the season, and I hope that he's going to be able to perform. So Chelsea is also one of the teams to watch out for because they have relatively easy fixtures for the first 5 game weeks. Now let's move on to the next team. The next team, which I think have very good fixtures in Nottingham Forest. As you look at the fixtures, they play Bournemouth, Southampton, Wolves, Liverpool, which is the only tough fixture in that list according to paper. Maybe a little bit Brighton, but I think the first 3 fixtures are relatively good. And I think Bournemouth is a relatively easier fixture. Brighton are not the club they used to be back then. So I think it's a very winnable game for Nottingham Forest. Of course, Nottingham Forest are usually relegation risks, but the first five games are very, very good, and they've been very good in pre-season as well. They're scoring goals for fun. So I think they're going to have a good season. Maybe they're going to still fight for relegation, but we'll just have to wait and see. But for now, these are their first five fixtures. I've gone for Morgan Gibbs White in there. Morgan Gibbs White has played every preseason match. I started at the cam position or the right wing position, just around that range, and it's looked really, really good. That's why I've gone for him. Now we're going to be able to perform and prove people wrong because of his price tag was very, very high, and I was going to be able to perform. Then you have Chris Wood in there, the bagsman for Nottingham Forest. He had a very good end of the season. He scored a lot of goals, and I hope that as this season rolls on, he's going to have the same impact. Then a slight concern is Nottingham Forest. They have a lot of attackers. They have Awoni, they have Emmanuel Dennis, and they have the Asian guy who's coming back from his loan. So there are a lot of attacking options, but I think Chris Wood is going to be more nailed on, and who is going to be able to perform. Then you have Hudson Odoi as well, who I think I've gone for. Of course, there's Elanga, but Odoi has played more minutes in preseason, and I think he's going to be more nailed on for the team compared to Elanga, and that's why I've gone for Odoi in there. I was going to be able to perform. So the Nottingham Forest have very good fixtures as well. For that's five fixtures. If you want Nottingham Forest player, I think these are the three best options you can go for. Personally, I'm going to be going for Chris Wood in my team, or maybe Hudson Odoi in my team. Not Morgan Gibbs because I think it's a little bit more expensive at 6.5, but the rest I think are very good options to have. So that's the Nottingham Forest fixtures. I think so. Now let's move on to the next team. For the next team we are going to be looking at is Liverpool. I think they have one of the best fixtures in the next 5 game weeks, from game week 1 to game week 5. They play Ipswich, Brentford, Manchester United, which is the little one, which is a little bit tricky. But they did manage to beat Manchester United 3-0 in pre-season. But again, they say don't judge teams off pre-season. So that's Manchester United. Then they have Nottingham Forest and Bournemouth. I think they're going to win all those 5 games, and I think they're going to play really well. And some of the best players that they have is Van Dijk in there. I think Van Dijk is the main one for Liverpool in that defensive line. Well, this season they're going to keep some clean sheets because last season they don't keep a lot of clean sheets. But I think this season they're going to play really well. Going to keep a lot of clean sheets, and of course, I hope you guys going to get a lot of attacking returns from set pieces as well. Then you have Trent in there. We all know about Trent. We all know his attacking return is crazy. He's had a lot of assists. He has the potential to score free kicks from set pieces, and of course he's also on set pieces in corners as well. So there's high chances of attacking returns, and that's why I've gone for him. Then we have Mo Salah finishing off the Liverpool trio. As we all know how Salah is, he plays really, really well, he performs really well. He gets a lot of goals, gets a lot of assists, which we saw last season, had a lot of assists. So that this season is going to be playing in the same rhythm, same groove, and what is going to be able to perform from the first season where he joined Liverpool. He was scoring goals for fun. Hope we will get that Salah this season, and with those 5 fixtures, should be a test to see whether we're going to get Salah, the old Salah back as well. And then the final team, which I think have one of the best fixtures on paper from game week 1 to game week 5, is going to be Newcastle. They play Southampton, Bournemouth, Spurs, which I think is the toughest fixture out of the 5. Then we have Wolves and Fulham, which I think are very relatively easier fixtures on paper for Newcastle. I know last season they didn't have the best campaign, but some of the players managed to perform really, really well. For example, we have Trippier in there, who he picked up an injury towards the end of the season, but despite the injury, he looked really, really good in the other fixtures. And we all know his attacking return is out of this world, and nobody is going to be able to perform. He's on set pieces, he's on free kicks, he's on everything for Newcastle apart from penalties, and I think that's really good. Even sometimes he takes goal kicks instead of the goalkeeper himself. So yeah, I think it's a very good option to have in there from Newcastle if you want to tackle those 5 fixtures. Then you have Anthony Gordon. What a very good season last season as well. Also had a good Euros from the minutes he played, although it was like 10. He looked really sharp in those 10 minutes. So that is going to be able to perform in those fixtures. In those 5 fixtures, and are going to have an amazing campaign. Then the last player in the Newcastle trio is going to be Isaac. You remember Isaac last season, he looked really, really good. He was scoring goals for fun. And the only concern is what's going to happen to Isaac when Wilson is back. But last season they played 4-4-2, and they had Isaac and Wilson both playing together, and they played really, really well. But of course, Wilson is injured most of the season, so Isaac I don't think has anything to worry about. I was going to be able to perform this season as well. So yeah, those are the best fixtures and best 5 fixtures from I think the teams which I think have the easiest 5 fixtures from game week 1 to game week 5. Let me know in the comments some of the teams have missed out who will also have decent fixtures from game week 1 to game week 5. But with that, I'd like to thank you all guys for watching. If you managed to reach this far, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And with that, I'd like to thank you all guys for watching, and I'll see you all guys later. Bye bye.